This video production was made possible through funding made available by the Government of Flanders to the ILO Office in South Africa. One of the core sustainable development goals is to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. To achieve this, South Africa requires a sustained economic growth rate of more than 5% according to the National Development Plan. This is no easy task, as obstacles to both the formation of new formal businesses and the investment in established ones are seriously impeding South Africa's ability to develop an inclusive society. The promotion and establishment of an enabling environment is essential for business, as this leads to economic growth, job creation, and greater prosperity. To help identify what would be needed to create an enabling business environment in South Africa, the ILO, in conjunction with Business Unity South Africa, conducted a country-wide assessment into the conditions required for sustainable enterprises. This assessment concluded that these 6 areas need to be actioned upon to help make the environment easier for small and early-stage entrepreneurs. 1. Improve easy access to information for business startup and business support services. 2. Reduce and simplify burdensome regulations. 3. Find ways to strengthen the voice of small business in policy and social dialogue. 4. Simplify hiring and employment practices. 5. Develop new ways to increase access to finance and market opportunities. 6. Mainstream enterprise, entrepreneurial training, and skills development. These are the stories of 4 entrepreneurs and their experiences. Improve easy access to information for business startup and business support services. The top 2 barriers to starting and formalizing a business, reported by all survey respondents in the ILO Enabling Environment for Sustainable Enterprise survey, include: in first place, there are too many procedures to register a business, and in second, the entrepreneurs don't know how or what to do. 70% of all survey respondents agree that entrepreneurship and business support services are underdeveloped in South Africa.
As soon as you deliver a service and you get money for it, even if you're just one person, you're already a sole trader and you're in business. The crux of the matter is to start trading, to sell somebody something that they need and get money for it.
Sweat Adventures was registered in 2011, but what we then did is that we then took a CC that we owned, Pekoho Trading and Projects, but we trade as Sweat Adventures, so we still registered as a CC.
Sibanenkinga zokubhalisa thina njengabantu somabhizinisi abancane. Asazi ukuthi kufanele sibhalise pho uqala. Okwesibili uthi noma wazi unenkinga lemali edingekayo.
Asinayo ireason kahle sakwenza lokho, sazama sathola umunye umfana esirejistela yona from Pretoria, so wenza izinto ngendlela yakho, angabuyisa feedback kuthina, amaphepha agcina ehleli ngakena, so asazi noma yarejisteka noma kwenzakalani.
Entrepreneurs shy away from registering because of the corporate governance, because of not wanting to register for tax, and it's a scary thing to be a formal business and to have all those responsibilities. There's so much technology at the moment. It is possible to make the whole process online, possibly to make it a little bit cheaper. It's not massively expensive. It's about 1,500. And then to make the requirements less, especially the SARS requirements. There's income tax, and then there's VAT, and then there's pay-as-you-earn, skills development, and so on, and UIF. There could be a system where there's one fund to pay and for smaller businesses, and that could step up as the business grows.
Reduce and simplify burdensome regulations. The 2015 Global Competitiveness Report places South Africa, in terms of the burden of government regulations, 117 out of 144 countries. The need for improvement should be made a high priority to create the conditions for better growth and greater employment.
Yeah, ukwenza ibhizinisi engarejistwanga ngathi kunzima, because awukho umsebenzi owutholayo kumasipala noma government. Uphila ngemisebenzi nje oyinikwa abantu, le misebenzi emincane.
If you want to grow your business and you want to create something apart from yourself that you can sell one day and create wealth, then you have to have a standing in the market. And if you want to grow eventually to service bigger companies, they won't deal with you if you don't have a VAT certificate, a BE certificate, and so on. So in order to grow the business, you have to register and create a separate legal entity to yourself that can exist past yourself.
When I started quad biking and we said we need assistance starting a quad bike business, first point a person we met up and said, are you mad? Who's going to ride quad bikes in the township? If the first person you're engaging with within government or within the public sector doesn't understand you, doesn't understand what it is that you want to do, you're already getting blocked.
Ukuze sithole indawo esithandayo funeka isihambise kumasipala sokhuluma nabo sibatsho sithole indawo sibona indawo endaweni ukuthi sicela basinike yona leyo ndawo and then bese siyaqala ke senze mhlambe ishintsho kwibusiness yethu.
Sike sibe nenkinga yamaphoyisa amasipala yabo. Amaphoyisa amasipala sifuna ama-permit yabo lonto leyo.
Find ways to strengthen the voice of small business in policy and social dialogue. The concerns and needs of small and informal businesses need to be strengthened in the national policy and social dialogue debates. The majority of SMEs stated that business associations represented their interests either hardly or not at all in national policy debates.
Yes, ngiyacabanga ukube ilungu le-business association, but inkinga engibe nayo angikwazi u-association ukuthi ngingawuthatha phi.
I'm a new member of what they call a SATSA within the tourism agency space. I'm a member of that. I'm also a member of Black Gem, which is called the Black Jewish Entrepreneurs Network. I'm also a member of Tourism Enterprise Partnership, which is called TEP. At the end of the day, it's seminars where you go to and you sit down and you're actually able to leverage opportunities from other people that are there. So yes, it's very important, so long as you know how to network and how to use those tools. There's worse thing is having a shovel and not knowing how to use it.
Sijwayele la ekuvukeni khona ubaba okuyena bejwayele ukuza la kule ndawo le ama-containers azosicela ukuthi sicela siye lapha ekuvukeni for amabhizinisi amancane so sizokwazi nathi ukukhala kuhulumeni simtshene ukuthi sifuna indawo enkulu indawo sokwazi ukusebenzela kuzona.
So the World Bank, the International Finance Corporation, there's various incubators all work towards entrepreneurship. Then there's all the enterprise development funds of the big corporates who do things for entrepreneurs, but everybody is doing it on their own. So what governments should do is call together a body that can pull all these organizations and incubators and small business banking sectors and so on into one organization where there can be one big wave to help small businesses.
Simplify hiring and employment practices. The second most problematic element to formalizing a business in South Africa, reported by both SME owners and informal business owners, was hiring people is problematic. The Global Competitiveness Report 2015 ranks South Africa at 143 out of 144 countries on hiring and firing practices.
Obviously, if you're employing somebody, you're in a relationship with somebody. And relationships have fights and they go through difficult times. So you have to really be knowledgeable in the Labour Relations Act to understand simple things such as if somebody is getting older, can you force them to retire or not?
Imithetho yokuqasha umuntu angikwazi umthetho mina ngathi ngiyawazi uma ngicela umuntu ukuthi azongisiza ngiyamholela lo mali esivumelene ngayo.
Mina ngokwami ngazi ukuthi umuntu mecela imisebenzi uyambiza aphathe CV yakhe eze mase uyamqasha mengabe right for umsebenzi bese niyavumelana ngama-hours azosebenza nivumelane ngomholo azohola.
They say South Africa has got probably the best but the most complex Labour Relations Act. They keep on writing appendices to the Act. So you almost can't employ people if you don't have a labour organisation or a labour lawyer on retainer. Because as things come up, there's so many factors to take into consideration.
Can we all get into the same ball? People that are getting jobs also need to know what laws apply for SMEs. We find that we suffer from the same rules and regulations that big business does. Big business can take on CAPEX and carry people for 3-4 months while they fight in. I don't have that money.
develop new ways to increase access to finance and market opportunities. The second highest barrier reported to hinder young people from starting a business is their inability to access finance. Both formal and informal business owners reported using their own savings as their first choice in financing a startup business. SMEs are more likely to use bank and venture capital finance as their second and third choice, whereas informal businesses are more likely to use family savings and stokvels as their second and third preference.
Yeah, ebhenki ngake ngazama ukuboleka imali ngifuna ukuqala umsebenzi. Angizange ngiyithole imali because bathi kufanele ngibe ne-title noma le into okubambisa. So ukuthi anginalo utho abangalibamba.
If you're an astute company, you can walk into any bank and get finance. In fact, they hound you to give you finance. So if you've got a clean record and you have got a track record of trading and trading responsibly, then the access to finance is very easy. If you're starting out and you don't have a track record, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, but i-franchise zenza kube nzima ukuthi nathumane incedo ngoba bona basendaweni ezinkulu ama-mall and bona bayaziwa thina sisaselokishini sisafufusa sisakhulisa ibhizinisi yethu.
Do you back the jockey or do you back the business? Two different things. If I've gone this far without any of your help and I'm still running without your help, who are you backing here? Are you backing a simple structural system that you guys have come up with? Because I might be a 10K every month, but the reality is, how many people am I paying every month? How much am I contributing to growing the business every month? Are we still the same business we were 5 years ago? My bank balance may not show that we have growth. The money that's in there comes through, but we spend it back at the business. We throw it back in the business. But is it according to the structure and formalities that you would like us to conform to?
Mainstream enterprise, entrepreneurial training, and skills development. An overwhelming majority of respondents agreed that the top barrier preventing young people from starting a business was that South Africa's education system does not teach young people to be entrepreneurial, followed by inadequate information on how to start a business. Only 4% of the SME respondents agreed that vocational education or CETA-run courses meet most of the needs for their businesses.
I-training ayikho ngaphandle nje kokuthi ngaya kufundela wona i-welding. Enye i-training ayikho engise ngingayenza.
Yebo, i-training isayenza and yasiza ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sikhulise ibhizinisi nxa ngolwazi oningi sazi ukuthi yini wrong ongafuneki yenze kwi-client lakho, yini right ofuna kuyenze. Mawenza lokhu i-client anqeni ukukusiwa. Ziningi izinto esifundile kuma-training ade siwenza after school.
Ephuzweni le-training siyadinga ukuthi sifundiseke sisizakale ekutheni le misebenzi yethu esiyiqalile sikwazi nokwenza imisebenzi emikhulu. Mhlawumbe singagcini ngokwenza izindlu zabantu. Siye mhlawumbe nakuma-malls yabo sokwenza ama-malls. Siyakudinga lokho ukuthi ulwazi lwethu luthuthuke.
There's a lot of training available, but it's costly. Government can do a lot with giving grants, specifically study grants. The other thing that can be done is where people do study, to build business management and operational management into the curriculum. If you're learning to be a medical doctor or a lawyer, you actually shouldn't just learn law. You should learn how to run up and grow a practice. So there's a huge gap in the market for any type of professional to also understand how to manage a business, because that's a separate science.
Ungathanda ukuthi uwazi umsebenzi wezandla, kodwa manje ushote ngeimali zokufunda. Noma usukwazi ukusho ubone ikambe uyafisa ukuqhubeka wenze ukuyi, kodwa inkinga yethu phela thina imali ukufunda.
There's enough of everything everywhere. Google. Whether you go to seminars, whether you go to anything else, depending on who you are, depending on what access you have. For me, when I started, I was never graded as a person that comes from a tourism space, but yet I run one of the most important businesses in the tourism space within Soweto. I then went and learned how to do it through Google. Because when I looked up seminars, when I looked at this, they would tell you this is a workshop in 2 months, but you know, wait, I need the information now. I'd read up, find out how to manage this. When I had time during the week, take myself on a day excursion with 2 or 3 friends or 2 of my staff members. That's we go to school. That's us learning how the competitors do it. Yes, seminars are there, but how often do we even know about them? If you're not within the network, you don't know the information.
Business management is something that you have to learn. It's not something that just comes because you're good at whatever your own profession is. And the better you are, the quicker your business is going to grow. And then often it outgrows itself. And if you haven't had management and business management specific training, then the business has failed.
Although these 4 respondents all have different experiences, challenges, and opportunities, the end goal is the same. Everyone wants inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all.
Amaphuphethu kule business makhulu kakhulu. Le business sifuna likhule, kodwa okunye nakho konke asifuni ukuphuma la elokishini, but sifuna ukuyenza ibe yinhle, ibe classy, kube ngathi semhlange elokishini. Amaphuphethu lawo.
Amaphupho wona uthi ngiyathanda umsebenzi wami uphumelele uye phezulu, ube busy, qasha abantu, kube nabantu mhlawumbe 10 20 engibaqashile. Ngiyafisa ukuba ne-workshop enkulu, ngiyafisa ukubona ngiregistile futhi iphupho lami ukuregister phela.
I see Sweat Outdoors simply being the adventure center that has been able to franchise itself in various places or various townships around the country. Franchise itself, possibly partner up with young individuals, but we must own the brand. We've put it into market. We've put Township Adventure into the market. So why not still own it within other spaces?
I've recently become more involved at Tubis. I would like to be that person that took it up to the next step or the next level as in business growth. I would like to have an impact on people, whether it's the employees here or students that I lecture, and feel that I've equipped people to have a better career and have better businesses.
For more information about ILO support to the promotion of sustainable enterprises and their transition to formality, please visit www.ilo.org.